Hello, Easy Nation, and welcome to another episode of the Easy Cage Show. Guys, I am Darth Easy.
And I'm Randy Cage.
And this is episode 136 of the Easy Cage Show, as Randy Cage is getting ready to die on the other side of the podcast, video, whatever we're calling it.
Long pipe.
All right, so today, this is our annual. Now, since we start doing Easy Cage stuff again, when we did it last time, when we hit the end of the 6-month movie cycle, we would do top 10 movies of the year so far. This kind of gives the audience films that you should probably check out before the latter half of the films come out. But this also gives us a little bit of a 6-month break and to reflect on what's came before the last 6 months. So, Randy Cage, was this a hard list to compile or was it easy?
I mean, it's easy in the fact that we're still had half of a year or more than half of the half year of a pandemic still, and we didn't have a whole lot of movies. So, I mean, in that way, it was easy. Will any of these movies be on my list come the end of the year? Probably not many.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe,
I mean,
maybe two.
Maybe two. Yeah. That's probably my guess too.
So, all right, guys. Once me and Ray Cage have set a topic, we go our separate ways to compile our own separate top tens. I'll do my 10 to Ray. He'll do his 10 to Ray. I'll do a 7 through 6. He'll do 7 through 6. Then we trade one apiece. Once we compile our own separate top tens, we will create the top 10 between the two of us. And since I went first last time, you get to go first this time.
Oh boy, I'm so lucky. My number 10 is Luca.
No, they didn't make it.
Didn't make your list. Well, once again, it only made mine because there was so few movies to choose from. But I don't hate Luca. Like people were rating this movie about how it was as bad as Good Dinosaur. I don't think it was as bad as Good Dinosaur. It was just didn't have a whole lot of depth for me. There wasn't like a villain, and there wasn't like we just came off of Soul, which had all this emotional depth and all these layers, and this one didn't really have that. It was just a kind of cute little story about being it's okay to be different kind of thing, but it's still beautiful to look at visually, and it had some good heart, and I liked the setting, but it was
I really enjoyed Luca. It put a smile on my face. I would have liked this scene a little bit more, and this is a problem with animation films in general, is that if you're going to make the movie set in Italy, I would have preferred to see some Italian accents instead of everyone sounding like they're from America.
Yeah.
So that's one of my biggest picks of the movie. It does feel kind of like a little bit of like a Ponyo mixed in with a little Mermaid mixed in with maybe a little Finding Nemo in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, the movie did blow me away. It's not a Pixar film I'll ever want to rewatch, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and so yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the film. I mean, it's worthy of being number 10.
All right. My number 9, another animated film. I went with Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah, they didn't make my list either.
Yeah, this was another one where I had really high expectations. This was on my top 10 anticipated, way up there. And it was good, but it didn't blow me away like I wanted. I felt like they were crammed a little too much in this movie. I felt like we could have maybe stretched it out a little bit more, or I don't know. Too many side characters, I like the feel in the setting and the animation, and I like the main character. I even like the dragon. But when we started getting on all these different side characters and stuff, I was like, it's a little too packed full for me. But it was enough to make my list.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I enjoyed this. It's like a regular top 10 where we haven't seen each other's movies. We've actually seen each other's movies. I like Raya the Last Dragon. I like most of it. I really liked Aquafina because she's just one of those. She's just one of those stars that she's just funny. And I was really sad last year when this movie got pushed back because I was thinking, oh man, this is gonna be like another Moana, and it didn't turn out that way. It just, but you know what? It was enjoyable. I love the world it set up. It had a very Chinese feel to it, especially in the Warren era period of China history, where you have all of these this nation that was once together and then they broke off, and then at the end they kind of come together again. So I enjoy from someone who studies history, and so I enjoyed it for that. And also the relationship between the main girl and her rival. I thought that was a kind of interesting dynamic. So I enjoyed the film. It wasn't one that I would necessarily say I would rewatch, kind of like Luca, but I probably would watch it over Luca personally. But I enjoyed the film.
All right. My number 8, I went with the Guy Ritchie film Wrath of Man.
Okay, this is one I had not seen.
This is a pretty good movie. I do recommend it. I enjoyed it. This was there's several movies on this list that start off really great, and then I don't know what happens about midway through the movie. They kind of dip for me. This movie has a really good first half, and it's cut like a Guy Ritchie film, like a Tarantino film. You know, it's all out of place. No, or Tarantino. God dang it. Not Guy. I got Guy Ritchie stuck in my head. Statham, Jason Statham. He, he's playing his normal kind of role. He's a badass, but it's got a little more depth. And it's a pretty good movie. It's not one of my favorite Guy Ritchie movies, and like I said, towards the end I was kind of getting sick of it, but it was pretty good so far this year. Made my list.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's one that I'll wait for the digital to come out and watch it online, probably. It just, I was still in the cusp of waiting to go back to the theaters, and it's just one that's not really in theaters anymore. It was like one showtime, so I just couldn't make it to that showing, so I'll see it eventually. So yeah, that's your 10 through 8?
10 through 8.
Okay, my number 10 is a Netflix movie.
Ooh.
And I went with I Care a Lot.
That's a punt.
Okay. At number 9, do it.
I said, but I do care a lot.
Oh, bullshit. Okay, at number 9, I'm going with Nobody.
That is also a punt.
Okay.
Figured this would happen.
Okay, at number 8, I went with Concrete Cowboy.
I've not seen this one.
Okay, so this movie, it's the main character is the black kid from Stranger Things. So the whole story of it is basically he's been in trouble his entire life. His mom sends him off to live with his dad, who is a cowboy in Philadelphia. And he kind of has like this thing where he's like, his dad's never really had anything to do with him. And he doesn't really like him, really. But he starts to become this cowboy in Philadelphia and like in the city. And they're based off real people. I forget what they're actually called. But the movie was very, very well good. It felt like one of those kind of modern westerns that we've really liked in the 2010s, and Idris Elba was great in the film. I mean, every time I see him in the movie, I'm always like, man, he's good. He's just such a good actor, and he was very good as this guy who's trying to get his life together, trying to be there for his son. And I enjoyed this film. I thought it was one that it was a good Netflix film, and I highly recommend checking it out.
Yep, I'm adding it to my list here because I was just about to say it's on Netflix. It's got an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. Mm-hmm. This is the second time I think you've said something about it.
I have.
I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, that's my 10th rate.
Okay, go back here. My number 7 is a punt from earlier. It's Nobody.
Okay.
You had it in mind? Yep.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, nobody. Go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's higher on your list, so I'll let you talk about it first. But I love Nobody because first off, I love crap. I forget what the guy's name is, but you can look it up while I talk. I really like him because Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. He has such a funny thing about him. Does the movie have lots of elements of John Wick? Is it from the writer of John Wick? Absolutely. But you know what they say: if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I also really like Dr. Emmett Brown, the guy who played Brown in Back to the Future, his dad in the film. Christopher Lloyd. I thought Christopher Lloyd was very funny towards the end of the film, and the action was fun. The villain was a cartoon at times, but you know what? It was, and I like it whenever I like at the beginning when he goes looking for the bracelet. He's just like, "Where is the Kitty Jar bracelet?"
The scene on the bus. Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
scene, and it's Bob Odenkirk, by the way. Is who
Bob
you were
Odenkirk.
thinking? Yeah, and he's like, I've only ever seen him, I think, in because I haven't even watched Better Call Saul yet. So in Breaking Bad, and I think he was in some kind of comedy or something.
He was in How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. So I've never seen.
He was also in that. He was also in that one movie with Seth Rogen, where he plays the president with Charlize Theron.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
So, and he was also the voice in Incredibles 2 as one of the businessmen.
I've never seen him play this type of character before, and it was kind of cool to see him as this old grizzled kind of, I don't know, Liam Neeson type character, or it is a lot like John Wick. You're right. I mean, even with the hidden organization in the background, and he's coming out of the environment and all that stuff. But it goes a little not John Wick, but it goes a little Equalizer towards the end with his dad, Christopher Lloyd, with that whole scene where it's like Home Alone in the office, but it was pretty cool. It's a fun action movie.
Yeah. It was enjoyable. Like I had a smile. It's a quick movie, so it's not a long one, and I enjoyed Nobody.
All right. Well, that was my number 7. My number 6 is Cruella.
Okay, yeah, that's my number 7.
Oh, so close we were. So close we were. Yeah, Cruella. I mean, I think me and you are both on the same page. Different movies, but like the Disney live action movies are all over the place. Like sometimes you get a good one, sometimes it's hot garbage. Sometimes it's like, why did you even? I don't know. They're just all over the place. And Cruella was one I wasn't like particularly looking forward to. I like Emma Stone, but I mean, it kind of blew me away because it's one of the better Disney live action movies on a character I don't really care that much about. And Emma Stone was great in it, and I just really liked it. I could see myself going back and watching this movie again and buying it on Blu-ray. I just got a feeling that this one I will be watching again in the future.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if I'll watch this one again personally, but I mean, and that's not to say nothing against the movie, but I mean, because it's just 101 Dalmatians is not one of those films that I gravitate towards, but maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's the Disney movies that we don't gravitate towards are the ones that we really, really enjoy, from like Jungle Book to Christopher Robin, even though I love Winnie the Pooh. So, but
it's for me in Aladdin. That's one of the reasons why I like Aladdin so much. I'm not the biggest fan of the Aladdin, so you might realize be the way it goes. If we're not a big fan of the source material, we might like what they do.
But what I really like about the film is just the movie is just carried by Emma Stone, who's just one of the greatest. Who's one of the best actors in Hollywood today. And I love how the story is. Like she's just trying to become a top fashion designer, and then she gets connected with Emma Thompson, who turned out killed her mom. And you're just like, oh, that makes sense why she hates Dalmatians. I mean, everything you're just like, I get it. And I also really like the side characters of Stephen Fry and Paul Walker Hauser. I thought those two were great as his sidekicks, and I just thought the film was great. Also, Mark Strong in a very small supporting role, but he was Mark Strong. I mean, every time he's in a movie, I've always enjoyed him in it, and I think Cruella is great. I totally see a sequel to this film. And I like how at the end it kind of sets up 101 Dalmatians. So I'm interested in that little joke where she's like, they would make a very good fur coat. Like, and she's like, I'm just kidding. Are you though? Are you really? So I enjoy Cruella. I think it's one that I would totally see a sequel of, and we'll see where the project goes in the future.
All right.
Okay, my number 6 is The Map of Tiny Perfect Things.
What is this?
This is the Groundhog's Day on Amazon, basically, where this one guy and this one girl get stuck in a time loop for a day at a time, and they have to find all the little perfect things in a day in order to break the time lock. And it's got the girl from Freaky to the Power Rangers movie, and I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this film. I think it's such a good little film, and I love how the ending with the girl and her mom, and you're kind of like, okay, I get why she doesn't want to leave this time lock. So it's one of those films that I found very touching, and it was a good one.
I remember seeing this trailer a long time ago, and just added that to my list of something else I'm going to watch this weekend.
That's what I'm here for, to inspire you. I do that all the time. I mean, you just don't realize it.
Well, hopefully it goes both ways, right? You gotta watch Wrath of Man. I think it's on Plex.
Do what?
I think Wrath of Man's on Plex already for you.
Oh, is it? Okay. I had been on Plex in a few days. I've been uploading my Survivor video, and it takes a hour to up. It took 2 days to upload because it was an hour video.
So I guess we're moving on to my number 5.
Yeah, that's my 7 through 6. Because Cruella was my number 7. So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is a punt from earlier. I Care a Lot.
Okay, yeah.
This one came out way earlier in the year, like wasn't it like February or something? But
yeah, well, a lot of these films came out in February, so which is interesting because we get a lot of these due to the pandemic. We actually got some Oscar films that came out technically in 2021, so I technically classify them as 2021 films because I go by release dates. I don't go by anything else, because I think I Care a Lot premiered at a little festival, but it didn't release until February, March. So for me, it's a 2021 film.
Yeah, I agree. This is one of the ones that's on my list at the 2020 film on Letterboxd, but it's definitely a 2021 movie. Rosamund Pike kills it in this movie, and I like how it's kind of like the Facebook movie, but for something I didn't really know a whole lot about. Now, does it go a little kind of like over the top? Sure, but I don't know. Something about Rosamund Pike playing bad people is just enjoyable to watch.
It's intoxicating. Like she had all those things from Gone Girl, which it's a film we both really enjoyed. And one of the things we really liked from her was she was crazy as hell, and just the little things she does in the film. And then Peter Dinklage in the film played the mobster who's trying to take care of his mom. He says, I really just don't like this woman. I really hate you. And even the ending, he just doesn't like her. So
it's been a while since I've seen it, but at the end of the movie, don't they team up at the end of the movie? They decide to team up.
Yeah, they decide she basically help. Basically gives him an ultimatum, and he's like, I can help you and we can make a lot of money together. He's like, I don't like you, but we can make a lot of money together, and I like making money, so let's do it. And at the end of the film, when he gets she gets killed by the guy at the beginning of the film, he's like, my mom died and I didn't get to see her, Screw you.
Yeah, it came full circle there.
So I Care a Lot was a film I really enjoyed, and it just because it's just one of those films, just like Cruella was, where you're just memorized by a main performance. It's what makes the movie so good.
So Rosamund Pike may be early contender for an Easy Cage Award.
Possibly, hopefully we'll get there this next year.
I think that we might see enough movies this year for that to happen.
Yeah.
All right, that was my number 5.
Okay, my number 5 is a movie that's been planned to come out for years, and a director finally got his chance to retool the film to actually make the movie better. I'm going with Justice League Snyder Cut.
It's funny. That's my number 4. So.
Oh, okay. So we can talk about it. Yeah. I love this movie, man. It's just everything about it was, because I hated the original cut of Justice League. It was one of those movies. I walked out of the theater kind of angry, and it happens sometimes. And Justice League was one of those. But the Snyder Cut is crazy. You add 2 extra hours of scenes, cut out all the Joss Whedon jokes, and the movie turns out to be an actually pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean, he retooled a lot in this movie. It's definitely got some Zack Snyder stuff, the slow-mo, the loud music over top of scenes that after a while gets a little bit old, but it's still everything else, like you just said. You cut out pretty much everything that was bad in the original Justice League. He added a lot of cool stuff. He gave characters time to breathe so you could get used to them, I mean, and he gave the characters that we already knew better storylines and things. It was really good. I didn't hate the other Justice League, but it was a very forgettable movie. This one is good, so good that it still makes me so mad how messy the DCEU is.
Yeah,
how all over the place it is, and it just, I want somebody like Zack Snyder. It's never going to happen because I don't even think he wants to do it, to come in and just be like, focus the DCEU a little bit because it's a mess. But
it is a mess. So, and it's heartbreaking because DC is what I love. I love DC more than Marvel because I grew up with Batman the animated series. I grew up with Justice League. When I saw the flash forward, the potential future, and I saw Darkseid and I saw the Omega beams, I had such a nerdgasm that I just was like, oh, that's so cool. I did like the post scene with the apocalypse future, and with Batman and Joker working together. And even Jared Leto's Joker was enjoyable in this scene, and I was like, man, I would like to see Jared Leto get another shot at Joker, because you can't really give him crap about Suicide Squad because he was only in the movie for 10 minutes, and we didn't get to see the full thing. And Jared Leto is such a method actor that we didn't really see where he was going with it. So I would like to see another chance, and I think I don't know if he will get another shot. Probably not. But I really enjoyed this film. I mean, the action was great. It was cool to see the black Superman suit. As someone who's such a Superman fan, and to see the black Superman suit was just one of the coolest things ever. And Henry Cavill getting to play Superman again, even if it was the last time, was great to see. And at least I didn't have to see the CGI face with no CGI mustache. So
we had Batflick, and I still like Ben Affleck as Batman. There's like, I'm not saying Zack Snyder's perfect. I mean, I had some serious issues with Batman v Superman, but man, his future looks so much brighter than whatever the hell is going on in the DC.
But then also Cyborg was such a cool character in this film, and had such a dynamic where, because the Justice League are supposed to be gods in their own rights, and Cyborg, he's like, I could hack and end the world right now, but I have to fight that urge and try to do something good. I mean, every character, even I loved Ezra Miller as the Flash. I mean, I would love to. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him, going forward. Because I like Ezra Miller. I think he's a good actor. So I enjoyed.
I know this is off topic, but have you been seeing the pictures of Flash, the movie they're filming right now, and like Michael Keaton's in it, and yeah, it's pretty interesting sounding. So
yeah, I mean they're going. It sounds like they're doing Flashpoint, and they're doing a bunch of crossover with because Flash deals with multiverse stuff. So you can see Batman. You can see an older Michael Keaton Batman, which it'd be cool. It may not happen, may happen, but I would love a future where we see an older Michael Keaton mentoring a young Terry in a Batman Beyond movie. I think that would be so cool. And since they set up, they did Joker, which is set up in its own universe, along with, I think the new Batman movie is set in its own universe. And Joker did incredibly well at the box office. I think there's a possibility we could see some more of these side little small stories. And I would love to see a Batman Beyond movie. If I was running DC and said, what project would you want to do? I'd be like, I want to do a Batman Beyond, bring Michael Keaton on as an older Bruce Wayne, and him mentor a young Bruce, a new Batman. I think that would be cool.
All right. Well, that was my number 4 and your number 5. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is the greatest clash of two of the most iconic movie monsters of all time.
Oh my God! Don't
Godzilla versus Kong.
Can't believe
Dude, you are such a hater. And this movie was awesome. And the movie knows exactly what it is. It's Godzilla versus Kong. You get really 3 great fight scenes. The movie is not long at all. And then the introduction of another character that's introduced to fight both Godzilla and King Kong, and they have to kind of come together. The Hallowed Earth stuff was really interesting as well, but the fight between Kong and Godzilla was great. And then there was even this little touching moment with the little girl that you see in the trailers, and you get this connection between Kong and her, and it's beautiful. And whenever she's trying to help Kong, and you just feel that humanly connection. It was a beautiful moment of the film, and I just thought the movie was fun. Millie Bobby Brown's back in the film after her appearance in Godzilla vs. King of the Monsters. And that's the thing about it, is it's not about the humans. Like, the humans they guide the story a little bit, but it's about the monsters. And that's one thing that I haven't loved from the Godzilla and the other Kong movie. This movie actually goes focus, and it kind of feels a little like what Bumblebee did, where we focus on like the Transformers, and this one actually focused on the monsters. And for a movie that was in such production hell for years, and we actually got to see, and the action scenes were great, and just to see Kong and Godzilla fight on the big screen, full CGI. I mean, it was such a fun movie. I saw it again this weekend at work, and I enjoyed it just as much as I did the first time. So it is one of those films that I really think you should check out, because I know you're a hater, but I think you would actually, if you watch it, I think you would actually enjoy it. And if I can watch Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, you can watch Godzilla versus King Kong.
Well, we've talked about this a bunch. I've given up on this new monster universe after 2 of the worst movies I've ever watched in my entire life. And then I didn't even watch the last Godzilla movie, but I also heard it was hot garbage. I will give you credit. This one does have a good Rotten Tomatoes score, but
come on, man. Come on.
I'm not getting back into it.
Just watch it. You need more movies to watch.
I got 2 here that you've given me. I'll watch them.
I hate you. Okay, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Okay, I haven't seen this one.
This is a great animated film on Netflix. It's a Sony animated film. It was once called Connected. This is another movie that was supposed to come out last year and got pushed because of the pandemic. But it has a lot of Sony animated movies have like this really fast-paced throw everything at the wall, see what sticks, kind of feel to it. The Hotel Transylvania movies, How to Train Your Dragon, great, now I've lost it. The Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, that was the other one I was thinking about, which a lot of times I'm not a big fan of. Like, I don't like that kind of humor because, it's just...
Well, you're forgetting about the best Sony animation film, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it didn't really have this kind of feel to it. But anyways, this one is pretty crazy. I mean, you got this movie. This whole movie's about family, and you got this family. Dad's trying to take his daughter out on one last road trip before she goes off to college. She does not want to be part of this family anymore. She's ready to move out. And then the robot apocalypse starts, and that's where the craziness comes in. But it somehow works. It's got a ton of heart. It's a funny movie, and it's just great. It's a good time, and it's crazy that this movie I liked better than the last few Disney movies we've seen. So Sony's got something going there. And they've signed that deal with Netflix, so I guess a lot of their animated movies are going to go to Netflix now. But it's pretty good. I recommend this one, even over Wrath of Man. This is a good animated movie.
Okay, I mean, yeah, it's been one of those movies I've been wanting to watch on Netflix for a while. It's just I gotta, get the feeling of want to watch it. So I'll watch it. I don't know if it's one of those films that would make my top 10 at the end of the year, but we'll see. I mean, I'll watch
98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right, but sometimes when anime movies are really, really good, they're always in those high 90s. So I'll watch it eventually. So I'll give you that. So
well, that was my number 3.
All right, my number 3 is a movie that was Oscar nominated and won Best Supporting Actor Oscar at the Oscars 2021. And I'm going with Judas and the Black Messiah.
No.
So I really enjoyed this film. I mean, I thought the film was very good. I liked the story it told. It's based off a true story about a true FBI kind of thing. Where I forget the main guy, but it's the main guy from. It's one of the guys from. It's the main guy from Get Out, and then it's also got the one guy from Atlanta.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya, and then the other guy, he's playing the Mo into the FBI, and the story of it is the FBI gets this guy up for. They're like, okay, you go to jail, or we have you infiltrate the Black Panther organization. So he plays a spy, and you also have Jesse Plemons, from Breaking Bad, Friday Night Lights, and that Game Night movie. He's played the FBI agent who's kind of his liaison between the two worlds. And I like Daniel Kaluuya was just incredible in this film, and it was just such an interesting story. It has a lot of the Malcolm X vibes that I really enjoyed from that film. And you could definitely tell it felt very Spike Lee at times. I really enjoyed this film, and the ending is just crazy. And then the other ending is really crazy because the guy whose life they kind of inspired this from, the guy who was an FBI agent, was in a documentary. And after the documentary is over with, after it aired on TV, he committed suicide because I guess he felt such shame of what he actually did. So it's a tragic, it's a terrible story, and I mean it's a good film. I recommend checking it out.
Sounds a little depressing. I don't even think I've seen a trailer for this movie. I don't know. I don't know if it's speaking to me like your other.
So I mean, but like I said, it's Oscar nominated, and it was the first movie I saw in 2021. And it's a good film. I mean, I recommend checking it out. All right, I have a feeling we're going to have the same number 2. So, what's your number 2?
So 2, but I don't know. My number 2 is In the Heights.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's my number 1.
In the Heights. I can't remember any of the songs, which is actually one of my negatives of this film.
Very
catchy songs.
I disagree with you there.
They're good. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying they're not catchy. I can't memorize the lyrics like I can Hamilton. I don't know. Maybe that's just a me issue.
I think that is just a you issue because I have so many songs I remember, like even like the silly Priagua song that Lin-Manuel Miranda sings. The 96,000 is such a cool song, and even the other song, the Blackout song, when the town goes blackout, and then I really enjoyed, like, it's not a song that I can tell you the words of it, but in the movie when the grandma character is dying, and I love how the movie does it, where it's a song of her life, and it's her life flashing before her eyes, and it's like, should I stay or should I go? And then when the whole town goes, is someone who really touched everyone's life. And In the Heights, it's my number one movie of the year so far. It's a film that I have just I fell in love with just because it's John Chu, director of Crazy Rich Asians. And just like what he did with Crazy Rich Asians, where he kind of gets to show the culture of the people, he does the same thing with the Puerto Rican part of the movie. And I love this little town. I love the main guy who was in Hamilton. He was in Star is Born, and he kind of got his little bit of a big break in this film. I think he really does a good job because he gets the Lin-Manuel Miranda style of music. And then the two main actresses in the film, this was their first movies. How impressive is that? Like when we walked into the film, you said you didn't really care for that one girl. You like the one girl better than the girl who's Jimmy Smits is supposed to be daughter's character. Mm-hmm. But that was her first movie she's ever done, and she was charismatic. And what I love about the film, like the 96,000, is the choreography is just so incredibly done, and I found this movie incredible. It's one of those films that I'll be shocked if it's not in my top 10 at the end of the year. If there's 10 movies better than In the Heights, I think we're in for a very special year in 2021.
I agree. I really did enjoy the movie. The music is great. The cinematography, the direction, it's on point. I didn't know when we went into this was based on a play. It made me want them to redo Hamilton because that's how well done this is. And yeah, those two girls are really good. I did like one over the other, but that was mainly just looks. I mean, they were both great in the film.
Yeah,
and their characters. You know, I kind of liked the character more than the girl that was, you know, struggling with school. You know, I thought the other girl's issues were a little bit more important.
Well, I mean, but no, it's not just school though, because her issues is her father doesn't have enough money. He's going to bankrupt his so he doesn't want, and also it's fit into a society that doesn't really want you around. And I think that's a compelling story as well. And also Corey Hawkins which his original character was played by Christopher Jackson, who was Washington in Hamilton, who makes a cameo appearance in as the ice cream guy in the film. And I really enjoyed him as well. He has such a wonderful voice, and I've seen him in many things from Walking Dead to Straight Outta Compton, and he's an actor who doesn't get the biggest roles, but he's so solid and so good in this film that everyone in this movie blew me away. Even Jimmy Smits, who never gets the roles he deserves. Like, what movies can you think of Jimmy Smits in? Star Wars. I remember him in the third season of Dexter. Other than that, he doesn't really get the roles that you think he should get. And he's a very talented actor, and he's very good in this film, who just wants to give his daughter the best life possible, because that's what fathers want to do. They want to make their life easier and because he's just a guy, he didn't graduate high school. He did the grind, and then he wants his daughter to do better than what he did. And that's what parents want to do. So I just think this movie is incredibly well done. And I'm surprised that I loved the movie as much as I did. I can't say I shouldn't be surprised just because it's Lin-Manuel Miranda's music. And this is without this movie though, we don't get Hamilton. Without the story, without the music, you don't get the Hamilton. Because if he didn't have the success of In the Heights, which won the Tonys, you don't get the Hamilton, and then we don't get Lin-Manuel Miranda's other stuff he's done from like Moana, and so
it is an absolute shame that literally no one is going to see this movie.
It is, because it's such a marvelous musical. It's the best musical I've seen since La La Land, and for a year that. I think there's going to be some really good musicals coming out by the end of the year. There's one that we'll talk about when we get to honorable mentions, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the year for films. So let's talk about your number one.
My number one, which don't you want to talk about your number two, which I'm assuming
yeah.
Number one.
Okay, my number two is A Quiet Place Part 2.
A Quiet Place Part 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this movie was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was.
I really like this movie. I think for me, this has been the best movie of the year so far. And but both this and In the Heights, I think, will probably end up on my top 10. Like you said, these would probably be the two that.
Well, like I said with In the Heights, if there was 10 movies better vote than In the Heights and A Quiet Place Part 2, it's been a good year for movies, and thank God for 2021 to bring the movie feelings back.
I freaking love this movie. Just the opening scene alone. Just
the opening scene was incredible.
I mean, it is just shot perfectly, and they do just enough to get you back in the groove of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's times in this movie I was on the edge of my seat for most of the movie, but I like when the kid goes over the bear trap. I was about to jump out my seat. And he's screaming, and I was just like, oh my God, they're gonna die in the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, and I love how it does feel like a part 2 movie, where I've only seen Quiet Place 1 once, but as soon as the movie started, I start to remember everything that happened before, and it's easy. And then, like, I love how they just continue right where we left off with the last movie. And if I was going to give a negative, the film was that we don't get a lot. Emily Blunt doesn't have a lot to do in the film. She's kind of given a really smaller role because it's really more about the one girl.
Birth. She's got a rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Even though she's walking around and kills the alien creature. And I'm glad the movie didn't go into, because you know what they're always trying to do with sequels is, okay, now we need to explain why the monsters are the way they are, why they're coming for the humans. No, that's not what the movie's about. It's really a continuation of the last one, and now we're trying to get the signal across at least in this area, so we can have a safe zone where we can live. And I thought the movie was just such a good one. And then also Cillian Murphy, who's an actor who, I know you're not crazy about Nolan, but he's been in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies, and he's always shows up in them, and he's always really good in them. He's such a good actor, and I thought he was great in this film. Like, I love the story of the tragic guy he's had a lot of bad things happen to him. He watched his son die. He watched his wife die slowly, and so I mean, I think the movie was great. I just think it's a surprisingly good film, and it sucks that this didn't come out last year due to COVID. But you know what? The movie made what, 100 million so far in the box office?
Over 100 million. Yeah, I think it's the highest grossing of the year.
It's the first film to crack 100 million since COVID. Before COVID, so maybe it's a sign that we're turning back to normal. Hopefully it is. Hopefully we don't have to remask up and do all this stupidness again. And I'm hoping the theaters are here to stay. And Quiet, and the top 2 movies, Quiet Place and In the Heights, were the 2 films I've seen in the theaters. And there's something. It's like going to church. It's just, it's like you're back in the auditorium. You can completely focus on the thing, because watching movies at home, it's fun and everything, but I can't ever get into it as much as I can going to the movie theaters and having that movie theater experience. And like, I connected with some random guy of within A Quiet Place, and we connected about the movie where we were like, and we're even talking about the movie trailers. I mean, it was a fun. It's fun to go back to the movie theaters, and so yeah, that's our top 10s.
It's a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that same, especially on like a big, like when Black Widow comes out. I mean, we got to go see that opening night with the hardcore people. And, you just don't get that sitting at home watching it on Disney Plus. It's just not the same. Yeah,
I agree with you. Okay, let's compile this list. So we both have Quiet Place at. I have it at 2. You have it at 1.
How about we do this? Do you know either of these two's Rotten Tomato score? Because I don't. I was going to say whoever has the highest Rotten Tomato score, let's give him the number 1.
You know what? That's a fair way to do it.
Because I don't know either. Let's do it.
Okay.
You want me to check it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. In the Heights has a 96%. Pretty damn good. Let's see. Quiet Place. Why is that one not showing up here? Quiet Place Part 2. There it is. There's a 91. In the Heights. Right. In the Heights wins. I like it.
Okay, let's get through some of our commonalities first before we continue. Okay, so I had Justice League at 5. You had it at 4. Let's just put that at 4.
Okay.
Okay, so I had Cruella at 7. You had it at 6. You had I Care a Lot at 5. I had it at 10. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see.
Let's split the difference. I Care a Lot. Put it at like 8 or something.
Okay, we put it like at 7. So
yeah, and then
Cruella at 6.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because I think a 7-6 beats a 5-10.
I agree. Is that it? Is that all we had in common?
No, we also had Nobody, which was we both had. Well, I had it at number 9. You had it at what? 7. Mm-hmm. So I figured we'd go Nobody at 8.
Okay.
And that's our commonalities.
We both didn't have Justice League?
Yeah, that's at number 4.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed it. I don't know.
Okay, so I had Judas at 3. What did you have, Judas? Or what did you have?
I had Mitchells and the Machines at 3.
Okay, so I'll give you Mitchells and the. Is it and the Machines? As I write this down.
I like the old name of Connected, but yeah, it's called The Mitchells versus the Machines is the official title. I don't know why they stick with Connected.
Okay, and at 5, I'm going to put Judas and the Black Messiah. Okay.
Is that it?
No, we have 2 spots left. So I had Godzilla versus Kong at 4, so that should be the next.
Anywhere near that, so that should be your film, yeah.
And then, what's the highest movie you have left?
I guess my next one would be 8, which is Wrath of Man.
See, I have Map of Tiny Perfect Things at 6.
I think you win then.
Okay.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Movie better be good. I'm gonna watch it. Maybe tonight.
Okay. It's a good movie. I really liked it. All right, let's announce this list to the Easy Cage fans. The top 10 movies of 2021 so far. Yeah. At number 10, The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. At number 9, Godzilla vs. Kong. At number 8, Nobody. At number 7, I Care a Lot. At number 6, Cruella. At number 5, Judas and the Black Messiah. At number 4, Justice League Snyder Cut. At number 3, Mitchell's versus the Machines. At number 2, Quiet Place Part 2. And the number 1 movie of 2021 so far is In the Heights. All right, honorable mentions, but instead of doing movies that we thought that would make this list, we go with movies that we're looking forward to for the rest of the year. So, Rennie Cage,
the whole rest of the year.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm really looking forward to Black Widow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
I
read some of those reviews last night, and they're looking really good. They said it's one of the best standalone films yet.
I mean, originally at the beginning of the year, I was super pumped for like the Immortals, I think is what it's called.
Eternals,
yeah. But then after I saw that trailer, and I'm excited about it, but I don't know. I'm more excited about Black Widow. Maybe it's just because it's soon. Spider-Man, I'm super excited about. I hope we still get that this year. I don't know. Stuff's not coming to me right now.
Okay, so Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 12 Rings, I think looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially since it looks like it's going to be, or the 10 Rings, especially since they're going to probably do Mandarin, since Mandarin is the thing with the 10 Rings, which is Iron Man's big villain. Let's see. Then there's Dune coming out, which is one of those films that will easily. It won't be surprised if it's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's a year. Do what?
I'm definitely excited about Dune too.
Then there's some other films like I'm looking forward to the Tick Tick Boom movie with Andrew Garfield, which is being directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's a musical.
I've never even heard of this.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'm more connected to the.
Is there a trailer yet or no?
Yeah, there's a trailer for it and everything. So, but it's Andrew Garfield in a musical, and it's being directed by Lin-Manuel Miranda. So it's one of those other musicals that I'm looking forward to. We got Suicide Squad coming out in August. That could be interesting.
I did like that new trailer. Do you watch that trailer?
Yeah, it's okay. I want the Suicide Squad to be fighting terrorists. I don't want them to fight these big monster end of the world creatures. I mean, have they not learned their lesson for the last movie? So, but I did
a good time, and it made me laugh. Whereas the first one made me laugh. This second trailer, I was giggling throughout it. So I was like,
the first one made me laugh just because of how bad it was. But
that's true. I didn't think about that.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head though. But there's so
Soho, the new Edgar Wright movie.
Oh yeah. That looks good.
So good. Best trailer in the last 12 months by far. The last night Soho trailer.
Yeah, but it's just cool seeing Edgar Wright do something that's not just an action movie. It looks more like a thriller style movie. So I'm interested in that. The Snake Eyes trailer didn't look bad.
I know. I'm with you.
But it's being directed by the guy who did R.I.P.D.
Oh.
So I'm prepared to hate the film, but I really like that guy that's playing Snake Eyes. I mean,
he was from
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
And he was also in that one movie with Paul Feig, with Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick. I forget what his name is, but
that and Shang-Chi are both very Asian centric films that we're getting this stuff,
which is great. So I mean that we're getting more movie quality in films. It's not just about the white dude in films, so which is the history of Hollywood. So it's good.
The putting paint on people's faces and making them play Asian characters,
Yeah. or even like old movies like John Wick Searchers, where they had white guys in makeup to make them look more Indian. So I mean, that's just how Hollywood's been for pretty much a century. Let's just get right down to it. But hopefully, we're going towards a good thing, and it's long. And it's a whole other conversation that we'll probably have again in the future. But we've had it before. I don't care about race. I don't care if the story's about white people. I don't care if it's about black people. I don't care if it's about Asians. I want a good story, and if the story can capture we watch so many movies. We watch a lot of bad movies. We watch a lot of movies. We watch a lot of great movies, and I just think it's great that we're going to see all kinds of stories. But I just want to see a good story, and I'll be the same way. If a movie sucks and it has an all black cast in it, and the movie's terrible, I'll be honest about it. I'm not going to say it was good just because it has an all black cast. I'm not going to say the female Ghostbusters movie was good just because they were all women. And if you don't like it, you're sexist. We're not playing that card. So make a good movie and you'll have my praise. And that's how I feel.
Ghostbusters, are we getting new Ghostbusters? What happened to that movie?
It's supposed to come out this year, isn't it?
I thought so, but
yeah, and also we got the new Halloween coming out this year. I know you don't care about that, but I really like the last one was great, and I'm looking forward to this new one. And for someone that gets me excited about a Halloween movie, that's saying something.
Well,
okay, so guys, that ends this episode of the Easy Cage Show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe this gives you some movies to watch for the catch up before the rest of the year starts. I mean, like I said, there's some good movies coming out at the end of the year, and we're looking forward to talking about them and continuing on with the Easy Cage Show. And so, guys, check out Randy Cage's Letterbox. You can read, and it's very exciting.
Very, very exciting.
Guys, make sure you check out my main Darth Easy YouTube channel where I have all my movie reviews. I've been posting a bunch of videos lately, a bunch of reviews that I've been lazy and now I'm finally catching up on. And also check out the Darth Easy Show where you can catch up every week on Thursday for the latest episode of the Easy Cage Show. And also check out my side podcast, my other podcast, the Rule of One, where I've been talking about Star Wars. I've been catching up on Cad Bane episodes of the Clone Wars since Cad Bane showed up in the Bad Batch. And so that was just such a cool little moment. And so, yeah. So, guys, until next week, all too easy.